Senator CCM.
Thank you.
Cortez Masto.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the ranking member. Congratulations to the nominees. I appreciate all of you coming in to talk with me. Not at the same time, individually you did, but thank you. Welcome to your family members. Let me start with the topic of discussion that seems to be today, and rightfully so, is housing. I am concerned, as we have all seen and talked about, we have a bipartisan, bicameral housing bill that's going to make a difference for so many in the lives of Americans across the country, including in Nevada, and it was not signed yesterday. And people need housing. People need housing in this country. I can't stress that enough. It means so much to so many. It is more than just a roof over your head. So let me ask a couple of questions here, because I am concerned that in the president's budget, he eliminated federal funding for programs like HOME and the Housing Trust Fund. His administration, the OMB, refuses to disperse funds that Congress has already allocated. And yesterday, as we have seen, he refused to sign the bipartisan, bicameral housing bill. So if confirmed, let me ask you, Mr. Phelan, if confirmed to lead the president's economic advisors, Dr. Phelan, excuse me, would you recommend that he sign the housing bill, which paused this week?
Thank you, Senator, and thank you. I very much enjoyed our conversation. I do not believe it's appropriate for the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, which I would do if confirmed, to say, I recommend signing this or not signing that. I would not do that for any bill. What I would do is, if asked, provide advantages or disadvantages to this law being passed or not.
And what if you were asked about funding being appropriated for housing that is not being released? Would you weigh in on that?
Thank you, Senator. I would weigh in on the economic effects of releasing or not releasing. I would not make any.
And based on your analysis now and your background, do you think that housing is an issue in this country? Affordable housing?
Thank you, Senator. I believe that across every decade, across every country, housing is important because in most places, it is about 30% of one's expenditures. So yes, housing is important today because housing is important always.
Thank you. Mr. Ledbetter, would you monitor and report to Congress any HUD leadership delays in dispersing congressionally appropriated funds to grantees?
Senator, thank you for the question, and thank you for your time in meeting with me during this process. Regarding that, not specifically familiar with that policy. However, I would commit to reporting any violations that would fall under the IG by the agency.
If the agency fails to follow the law, you would report to Congress on that?
That is part of the role of the IG.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. Phelan, tourism and travel and tourism are a $1 trillion industry to the United States. What conversation are you going to have with the administration, if any, with respect to tourism and travel that actually has dipped under this administration because of his policies? We're seeing the impact clearly, not only across the country, but in Nevada, where Las Vegas is, where we're down 7.8%. This is the first time we actually have a deficit, nearly $14 billion a deficit in travel trade since 2025, and it's because of this administration's policies, and they're bad policies. How will you address that with him?
Thank you, Senator. I would essentially, for instance, if the council were asked what is the economic impact of any changes in tourism spending, I would either answer directly or help guide someone else at the council to give a quantitative answer to that question.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that an individual is represented, their way of thinking is represented by the tweets that they've put out?
Thank you, Senator. I'm not sure exactly what the question is.
Sure. In other words, should we consider the tweets that you have put out and how you're going to manage the day-to-day operations of the office?
Thank you,
Do they
Senator.
reflect your positions or not?
I consider the role that I'm being nominated for.
Well, I guess my question to you is, should I discount your tweets, or do I take in consideration what you have put out there and that you have personally said, and that's how you feel and how you will run this office, or those not? That's not the case. Please tell me. Do you accept all the tweets that you've put out as how you feel and truly what you meant at the time?
My X profile is a product of being a university professor for 36 years. The role of the chairman of the Council of Academic Advisors is different from that role.
And so your tweets have nothing to consider with respect to how you're going to run the office and what you feel day to day. And I know my time's running out, and I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Senator Catherine Cortez Masto used her time in this hearing to focus on something that affects millions of Americans every single day: housing affordability. Instead of beginning with political rhetoric, she grounded her questions in a real-world issue that has become increasingly difficult for families across the country. Her argument was straightforward. While lawmakers from both parties had worked together on legislation intended to expand access to housing, the administration's refusal to move forward with that bill, combined with proposed cuts to housing programs, raised serious concerns about whether the federal government was stepping back from one of its most important responsibilities.